let's observe what's taking place within the Supreme Court justices, because this is going to affect Bible prophecy. This is going to fulfill Bible prophecy. Right now, when we look at the Supreme Court justices, here's a list of the Supreme Court justices, and I'm going to also share with you what their fates are. So far, here are the people. I'm sharing with you what the faith of these people are so that you can understand, so that you can better be able to grasp exactly what I'm illustrating. Let's go step by step. I do know that I have a younger audience as well who are watching my videos, so this is more directed towards the younger audience so that they can be able to understand this without being confused. Now, if you look at all these Supreme Court justices, you will quickly note that there are 9 Supreme Court justices. And of those 9, 6 of them are Roman Catholics. And yes, that includes Judge Neil Gorsuch, who President Trump nominated, because he was raised Catholic, but he is also Jesuit trained. He himself actually is a Catholic. And remember, based upon the words that came from the religious, let me make sure I say this right. Based upon the words that came from the religious ecumenical Protestant movement, which took place on the soil of the United States of America, they declared that there is no more a Protestant church, and that all the churches now are a part of the mother church. The mother church is the Roman Catholic Church. And you can look this up also for yourselves, because this took place in 2017 in October 31st, 2017, in which at the 500th year of the Protestant Reformation, the leaders of the evangelical churches and the Lutherans and all, they all came together to basically put an end to the Reformation, which means that the words of Tony Palmer, when he said,
"Brothers and sisters, Luther's protest is over," is yours. If there is no more protest, how can there be a Protestant church? Maybe we're all Catholics again. We are not protesting the doctrine of salvation by the Catholic Church anymore. We now preach the same gospel. We now preach you are saved by grace through faith alone.
These people are also a part of the advisors of Trump, including men like Kenneth Copeland, who is a part of this ecumenical movement. So when they said that there's no more a Protestant church, it doesn't matter what Judge Neil Gorsuch may appear to say that he actually is a Roman Catholic. Now, Trump also picked a practicing Roman Catholic, Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Now, this took place last year in 2018. If you observe, Trump, although Trump actually claims to be a Presbyterian or a Protestant, he is not nominating Protestants, but rather he is nominating Roman Catholics and placing these Catholics within the Supreme Court justices. Again, when we observe the Supreme Court justices, the list of it, what we find is that there are actually 6 Roman Catholics, and there are 3 judges who practice Judaism. Now, Trump is quickly filling these seats of these judges with Catholics. Now, one of those judges who currently exercises her faith as being Judaism, Judge Ruth Ginsburg, there have been talks of her checking out or retiring in 2019, in January 2019. Now she's got problems health-wise, it's bad. She has cancer, and pretty much she is basically at the point where anything can happen. Now, seeing what Trump did by choosing and picking those people who are Jesuits or Roman Catholics, who do you think Trump has on his list to be able to replace this woman when she is on her way out from the seat? Because right now the seat is becoming vacant. In fact, it already has been vacant. I'm going to show you guys a video about Fox News pretty much basically stating that Judge Ruth Ginsburg passed away in 2019. But it never happened. She's still alive and well. It's almost like you can say it's predictive programming, but they were caught. It was almost as if they were anticipating this, or they were waiting for a sign that says, okay, publish this now. Make it known for everybody. It's not technical error. But they got caught red-handed live on live TV. And they began to play it off like, oh, it's just technical error. You got caught red-handed trying to play this, trying to play this off. But this is predictive programming. The media lies. The media is full of propaganda. The media stages things. The media works with people who do dirty jobs. Now, I'm not trying to point fingers on anybody, so I'm just going to, you know what? In fact, I'm going to let the clip play. Let's all watch this together.
We need to apologize. At the beginning of Ainsley's interview with the professor, a technical error in the control room triggered a graphic of Ruth Bader Ginsburg with a date on it. We don't want to make it seem anything other than that was a mistake, that was an accident. We believe she is still at home recovering from surgery. Big
we
mistake.
Apologize.
In the control
Big
room.
mistake, yes.
Indeed.
Now, the name that I want you guys to pay attention to is Amy Barrett. This name, Amy Barrett, it's actually the name of a woman who was picked by Trump, who was actually running against Judge Kavanaugh for the position of the Supreme Court justices. But right now, there's going to be a vacancy available. And guess who Trump is going to be picking? Now, don't get me wrong. Am I saying that this will be the woman who is going to replace Judge Ruth? I'm not saying that because they could end up picking someone else. However, it's very highly likely, it's very highly possible that this woman, Amy Barrett, could be selected as the next Supreme Court justice to replace Ruth Ginsburg, which means you no longer will have 6 Roman Catholics, but now you will have 7 Roman Catholics and only 2 judges that are practicing Judaism. Why is this so significant? Let's suppose that now they put, let's suppose that Amy becomes the next Supreme Court justice and she takes that position. That means that these 7, and remember, the number 7 means completion. The number 7, according to the Bible, is a number. It's a number that points to completion. 6 is incomplete. Right now, the Roman Catholic Church, they are watching the Supreme Court justices, and they see that there are 6 of them. They are already the majority, but a 7th one would surely be the one that will actually finish and close the gap. In other words, basically giving them a complete number. Think about that and let that sink in. When this happens, that means that these Roman Catholics, if you observe Catholicism and Roman Catholics in general, their allegiance and loyalty, do you know who it belongs to? Their allegiance belongs to the papacy. Why? Because they are a part of the body of that mother church, which is the Roman Catholic Church. And anyone who is going to claim to have that name of being a Roman Catholic, they are going to carry the name of the Pope with them wherever they go. So that means the Pope's agenda becomes ultimately the agenda of these judges. So that means, although you may hear the president say, oh, we don't necessarily believe in or buy into climate change, well, the Pope's followers are actually for the Pope's agenda. They are for climate change and for climate change laws. So don't get caught up into thinking that these people are at war with one another. No, they're not. Because Bible prophecy is going to be fulfilled. The Bible says that an image is going to be made to the beast. The image, and that's in Revelation 13, the image of the beast is a reflection of the beast itself. The beast, the first beast in Revelation 13, refers to the papacy itself, the papal Roman Empire. Papal Rome is the first beast. And papal Rome is the papacy, the Vatican. And the Vatican is both a political and a religious power. That's what you see when you look at the Pope. Why do you think the Pope can go and meet with political leaders? It's because the Pope is the only one whom, although he has a political authority in his own kingdom, his followers have already occupied all the high authorities of governments all over the world. And when he goes to speak before the United Nations, he is speaking to all of his followers. Why? Because his followers and his soldiers, known as the Jesuits, they have already infiltrated all the governments, and now they have taken over, and they are now saying, okay, Papa, because that's what the Pope is, Father, tell us, what's our next move? And then he basically comes and he says, now the world is ready. We are prepared for the next step. That next step that is coming, oh, ladies and gentlemen, is National Sunday Law. And the thing is, you can see that, you know, America is going to speak like a dragon. Although it appears like a lamb, well, it no longer appears like a lamb anymore, because it stood for religious liberties and civil liberties. It has two horns like a lamb. Characteristics of a lamb. A lamb points to Jesus Christ. And when you observe these two characteristics, if it says that it has two horns like a lamb, that means it's promoting freedom. Because there's no freedom outside of Jesus Christ. There is no peace outside of Jesus Christ. America, that is what it's known for. Religious and civil freedoms. But then when you look at also even the very structure of government of America itself, a horn is the power of the beast itself. A horn, any animal that has horns, that horn is a symbol of its authority. That's when you really observe the United States of America, you will see that it has two horns. Truly, it has two political powers. These two political powers are the right versus the left, both belonging to what? To the one beast. Though you may have one horn on this side and one horn on this side, these two horns belong to one beast. Does that make sense? So which means, if you look at the Democrats and the Republicans, that, ladies and gentlemen, is even more evidence to suggest or to tell you that America is that lamb-like beast that comes up, rising up out of the earth in Revelation 13. Then it makes an image to the beast. That image of the beast is basically a reflection of church and state. And the reflection of church and state took place in 2017. President Trump, this is something that we've been telling you long before. That's because the Bible said all of these things. President Trump, before he came into office, it was being prophesied that there's coming a time in which the church will be reunited with the state once again. And Trump has made it his duty to make sure that he is going to bring the church back into the state. He wants the church and state to unite. They are against the separation of church and state. And in fact, it's also very ironic. You know, Christians should not be a part of politics in general, including Seventh-day Adventists. Yet, you've got Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson, who claims to be a Seventh-day Adventist. Yet, this quote-unquote Seventh-day Adventist, Ben Carson, he himself said that it's utter garb. He completely basically trashes the idea of a separation of church and state. And the thing is, church and state should not unite, because every time church and state unite, bad things happen. And that is exactly what happened in the Dark Ages. During the papacy's reign of terror, many people died. Many people were persecuted because they did not want to adhere to the law of the papacy, the law of the Roman Catholic Church. America is going to speak like a dragon through its legislative body, through the laws of the land. Did you get that? Through the law of the land, a nation speaks. That's the only way that a nation speaks. So that means that America is going to speak like a dragon by passing laws that are going to be satanic-like. In other words, laws that are going to be targeted towards God's commandment-keeping children. Just watch and see, because National Sunday Law is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I really tried to keep my video short, but it's so difficult to do so. You know, I'm gonna have to just do a part 2. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in and for joining me. Be sure to subscribe. I'm going to have to do a follow-up on this. There's a lot more information coming across your way, because the times that we're living in, there's no way that you can look at the world around you and still think that everything is going to be normal and everything is going to be fine and dandy. No. The world is changing, and it's not changing for the better. It's going to get worse. But good news, Jesus is coming. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in and for joining me. This is The Controversy 7. Be sure to turn your eyes and keep them fixed upon Jesus Christ, because Jesus is coming. If you didn't even get anything that I told you in this video, make sure that you keep your eyes fixed upon Jesus Christ, because soon and very soon the trumpet is going to sound. And you don't want to be on the other side of the spiritual battle, looking at Jesus coming, and then you're crying out to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of Him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say for now. Just be sure to subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and I will see you guys in the next video.